Well, it's only right to end this stream on a win, right? Right? It's only right. It's only right. But while we are on high with the games, I must bring you guys a little lower. You see, as some of you will notice and or have realized, I have not streamed as often as I used to, and that is saying something because I at least would stream like once a month. At least. But no, I didn't for almost 4 or 5 months. And to be fair, my sort of rocky streaming schedule was a thing that started earlier in the year, which I believe I mentioned inside my Outer Worlds playthrough. But, you know, anyways, let's go on ahead. Oh, hi. There we go. I'll just turn this on for a little bit so there's not like all the extra noise. Oh god, am I getting loud? Might be getting loud. I can't be getting loud. How dare I? It's time to hit a limiter on it. Just at 60, just at 60. And after about a fifth of a second. There we go. I'll probably bump this up a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, that's what it is. Someone is out there with their car. Anyways, yeah. Back to the subject at hand. I really, at first and foremost, want to say happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. There's several other celebrations and other special occasions that happen around this time in the month, but I really can't remember them because they're all like not so well known for those that aren't in the religion, for one, and for two, it's oddly enough a subset of Christianity, Catholicism to be specific. There's a few religions and stuff involved with that as well. But with that being said, it can't being said if it's already said. With that said, let's start from the beginning. From the beginning of the year, first and foremost, I had tried to apply back into university. Like, I tried to apply to get back in because I was getting tired of my mandatory vacation and I really wanted to get back and finish my business admin degree. I was sadly denied. Very sad. It really hit to my core because I feel like for the first time in a while, I was actually expecting at least a little bit of quote unquote success, and I was shot down. Like, for the first time in my entire school career, where I was like, maybe I should get this. The answer was no. No, I will not. While all the other times where I'm like, nah, I couldn't possibly be the best student in the class, ends up being the best student in the class. But yeah, it was starting with that. Got denied. Got rebuffed, and many other words that can just mean that it wasn't happening. Wasn't going back to school, so that hurt a little bit. Got an apartment with my boyfriends, but things didn't quite work out there, so I never ended up moving into the apartment. But I was willing to pay for the rent because, like, you know, there was a lot of personal situations happening that still required at least my financial help. My boyfriends were expecting me to move in, and I was expecting to not be a stubborn cunt and move in eventually. That never happened. And I realized it's because as much as I like being in a relationship, I really would like to be in a relationship with people who realize I don't like sharing. And like I'm willing to share a lot of common area and common space, but a bedroom, I need a room/office. I need a personal space. I need something that I can say is 100% mine, and that wasn't able to be fulfilled with the current plans. Well, with the plans of the apartment that were had. And to be fair, it didn't seem like anyone realized what the plans were, because it seemed like none of us were actually speaking the same language. We all speak English, but we were not speaking the same English. So that was another dinger, because it's like, man, I put time into filling out the application. And yeah, though I didn't want the apartment, is like, to a degree, I was still sort of excited at the opportunity to be able to move out from my family place and like actually be in a place of my own. But the thing is, it wouldn't be just my own. One of my boyfriends did have their name on the lease, and it was because, I mean, to be fair, the apartment was their idea and they were actually the ones that wanted it. I just wanted the opportunity to move out if literally one demand was met, which was to have a room of my own. But once I realized that there wasn't enough rooms, for one, and for two, there was going to be no way that I could just have a room to myself, I was like, you know what, I'll just stay with my family, because at least I get to have some privacy of being in my room. Am I toxic and selfish for that? Possibly. Is that going to change the fact that I wanted it? Absolutely fucking not. So yeah, that happened. That was a little bit of a bummer. And then through a little bit of like 1 or 2 months of me trying to restructure my budget, because now I gotta pay about like $350 for an apartment I'm not living in, because, you know, I care for the people that are in it. In the midst of doing all of that, the first true negative thing of the year was that my best friend of essentially a decade, had passed away and had lost her battle with cancer. She had been battling it for quite a number of years. I want to say like 4, 5, and that's with the amount of time that she told me. She had been battling it for quite some time and had been like back and forth, but yeah, she sadly did not succeed in that battle, which only adds to my hatred for cancer. And from that point forward, like, my overall feelings about the year sort of went into a downward spiral. Another thing that could be semi-toxic of me is that, like, I definitely started to shut myself off a little bit more. Like, I am very recluse, very introverted. I don't always go out for social events and being social in general, though I can be. But yeah, there's all of that. I started to become really recluse, and to be fair, another very toxic thing about me is the fact that I should have communicated this with my boyfriends, but it's like I absolutely just couldn't. Like, I was too busy shutting down and being in my own feelings. Again, Even I know this is toxic. And after like a few months, I slowly but surely started to get back into the mix. As I mentioned before in my Outer Worlds playthrough, I did mention the fact that, hey, one of the main reasons why I haven't streamed in a little bit is because, you know, best friend died, and I was quite hurt about that. And that was like in August and everything. So there's like that session of the Outer Worlds where I mentioned that at the beginning. And then on a high note, Kuri, one of my great streamer friends that, you know, sadly couldn't make it to this stream because, you know, it's the holidays and people actually have a life compared to me now. But yeah, Kuri, with his viewership and followers and rating my streams repeatedly, especially throughout my Outer Worlds playthrough, has gotten me to affiliate status. And from that point forward, I was able to at least start making just a little bit of money. I, of course, due to, you know, the agreements, I'm not supposed to be telling you how much I made. But then again, it's like, even I don't know how much I made because it's very obvious that I didn't make enough for me to get paid out. So essentially, I got less than $100. But yeah, you know, even with that being said, I wasn't expected to, one, get to affiliate, and two, make money off of it, which is another reason why ads can run at any moment during the stream, especially when I'm not playing like story mode type games. If it's a story game, no ads. If it's stuff like this, there's going to be ads, and they're just going to happen whenever, because, you know, yeah. And by whenever, I mean after the first 30 minutes of the stream starting, an ad runs for 3 minutes, and then after that, it's every hour for those that are curious. And then, of course, you got the pre-roll ads, and then you have the other ads that Twitch decides to just throw in there just for a good measure. Just for their pockets. I don't even know when those ads happen, but they happen. But yeah, with that being said, damn it, I did it again. With that said, I am now an affiliate. I've been an affiliate for almost 6 months, and I do want to thank, I hope this is the full list of subscribers, but it probably isn't. But I do want to thank, of course, Kuri, because you got me to affiliate and then you subscribed for a month or two. I want to thank The Only Monk, because I think they were either gifted a sub or they subbed for like a quick second, or essentially they helped. They also helped just a little bit. Of course, Coda would drop a few hints in there every once in a while. And then, of course, back to the subscribers. Burning Kalkuna, or BK. Love you, you sexy, artistic son of a bitch. Artistic, not autistic, artistic. Yeah, sexy, artistic son of a bitch. Absolutely love you. Absolutely love you to death. Thank you for the few months of support that you have given me. I Keldon, or just Keldon, thank you as well. Thank you for the like few months. And even when I said that, you know, there would be an amount of time where I wouldn't be streaming, you still continued to support the stream until you couldn't anymore. Which, again, the fact that you supported it even after I told you not to, I'm grateful. Okay. And I want to thank, there was one more subscriber. Oh yes, the very first subscriber. Rainbow Alex Yas. Or just Alex. Absolutely amazing person. First subscriber ever. First absolute subscriber. And with that, Oh, there was also Princess Tsunade. They were also a subscriber for like a month or two as well. Yep. I believe that is all the subscribers. I wish I had an entire list of subscribers, both current and past, but as you can tell, my project is straight just not finished. And I mean, with the first major negative event, you would understand why. I also want to quickly shout out all of the VIPs, which most of which are either people I've already just shouted out because they subscribed before or they actually helped me get my subscription. But of course, you have, my bad, it's Alex Rainbow Yas, not Rainbow Alex Yas. But yeah, subscribers are Alex Rainbow Yas. Not subscribers. Fucking hell. VIPs are Alex Rainbow Yas, Burning Kalkuna, Coda the Fluff, Cootie, Lyrically 88, which also has the Girl Next Door podcast, Shug 28, The Only Monk 21, and X Princess Tsunade Senju X. Those are all of the VIPs. And I will go through my entire followers list as it stands at this stream later after going through more major events of the year. Which brings me to the main reason why I didn't stream for almost 6 months. And that is due to the fact that at a very specific almost a month after I got affiliate, a month after I got affiliate, my father had passed away in his sleep. And it's yeah, that, as you could probably figure out, that absolutely took me out. Like, that took me out. I was not here at all emotionally. And yeah, that's why I wasn't here emotionally, mentally, at some points, even physically. Like, I just was not here. So yeah, that right there is the main reason why for a few months I just disappeared, because there was no way I was going to be able to fully function almost immediately after the passing of my father. I would go through the entire details of this scenario, but I'm just going to cut it short. Essentially, moments after he had spoken to both me and my mother, that night he decided to rest and go to sleep. And like, you know, at first my mother was a little bit worried because he hadn't been sleeping quite well for a little bit. I didn't know this, but she did. They talked for a little bit and then he finally went to sleep, to which then she went to sleep. And it has been hypothesized by both the emergency staff that arrived and by the mortician that he essentially had a heart attack in his sleep. Or actually, he was suffering from a heart attack before he went to sleep, but he then passed away literally moments after they both like went to sleep. Which again is like also mere minutes after he talked to me and was talking about necessarily like what he would make for breakfast that morning. And it's still taking me a moment to get used to him not being here. It's definitely taken me a moment, but I'm definitely doing a little bit better than I was before. It's still a little bit unreal to me though. Just a little bit. That he's no longer with us. um and I I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know how like to move forward from that like part, because like essentially the rest of the year is just me recovering from that. um Besides for the fact that due to my toxicness of my response, and like due to my toxicness and how I respond and how I grieve, and the response of all, well, not all three, two of my three exes, I decided to end my almost 3-year relationship with my exes. Literally at the beginning of this month, it would be one of like the first 3 anniversaries that would be attached to the relationship, because like I started dating my first boyfriend December 1st, and then we added on our second boyfriend April 9th ish. I want to say April 9th. And then we added on our third boyfriend technically at the same time, because apparently he was a tag-along that we didn't know about. But anyways, that's a little bit. But yeah, I decided to break it off because I realized that necessarily it was not going according to plan at all. Again, one boyfriend did not like the fact that I was grieving the way that I was, because they felt like they had to beg for love. And the other boyfriend, the one that I had the apartment with, broke up with me without ever telling me. And I broke up with the third boyfriend, but they were completely understanding of the entire situation. And, you know, everything's cool between me and the third boyfriend. The first two, things aren't quite cool with us. And that's because, as it would be described, I'm just absolutely toxic and the worst boyfriend to ever have. Do I believe it? Partially. I will admit, the ending of the relationship and the crumbling of our friendship and essentially the entire ordeal, I definitely was a catalyst, but I wasn't the only problem. I wasn't the only problem, but yeah, I digress. I'm digressing real hard. With that, I stopped paying for the apartment, and essentially a month or two after that, the apartment was completely lost. Now, due to the way that things played out, I gracefully do not have any negative credit score or anything, because they essentially left before being evicted, and thus I don't have an eviction on my credit. That I planned that out? Perhaps. But even if they didn't do that and they were going to be stubborn, then to a degree, both mine and my ex's credit would have been absolutely destroyed. Or better yet, his would be destroyed, which wouldn't help him because it's already quite bad. And then I would be doing everything in my power to mitigate my credit score to, dropping immensely, which, you know, I'm glad I didn't have to enact that plan, because it would have required a lot of sacrifices, an immense amount of sacrifices. But at the exact same time, it's a little bit of a bummer that the apartment is lost, especially since I never got to enjoy in the actual apartment. Again, that's my fault, but still, I never got to enjoy it. Which brings me to this month. Not much has happened this month, to be honest. Ever since, like, essentially breaking up with my now exes, I hung out with the third ex a few times now. They are doing their thing, and now I have been drowning myself in work, partially because I'm still sort of trying to distract myself from the fact that I, don't have my father with me, or, father isn't here, but also because of the fact that the store I work for does need quite an amount of help. Like a good amount of help. So yeah, that's essentially been it. Like after breaking up with my exes, I hung out with one, and I've now just been, essentially living my hoe era again, which isn't much different from when I was in the relationship, because yeah, our relationship was open and polyamorous, so it's like I was, another toxic thing, I was almost always able to find someone to have sex with. So yeah, that's not really much changed, though. Huge difference is I still can't host, so the options are more limited, because just like me, many other people can't host. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pika T-Bro, if that's how you pronounce your name. Thank you for the follow, like almost 3 hours ago. I never saw it because I don't have an overlay. Yay! Which brings me to the extracurricular updates. My dumbass is starting the project / custom overlay all over again, and it's because I was trying to do it in a particular way. It did not work in that particular way, and I was trying to do it in a new way, and then I realized that I would need to restructure the entire project to work in that new way. So I started it over, and then I started it, and then I realized, shoot, there's actually more things that I need to make this project work at its full capacity. So now we're back at where I just said I'm starting over for like the third time. Gotta love it, right? Got to absolutely fucking love it. I'm essentially putting my entire plan together, or at least remaking it so it fits the new structure that I have. But hopefully, in a timely manner, next year, that project will be done. Another project is my rebranding. I have possibly thought about outsourcing some of my branding to an outside artist. But at the exact same time, I feel like my style is both deliberately basic, but also so unique to me that necessarily I do not know if anyone else will be able to capture it the way that I want them to, especially when it comes to the emotes, because there's two particular emotes that I actually wanted to make first, but that just kept falling on its side. So we're with my Maximus emote, which you can redeem for free after watching for a little while until I change that. So, the people who got it for free without having to pay for your subscriptions, you'll probably be the only ones until I can figure out how to make this done. But yeah, I think that's it on the agenda. No. That is not it. Because I started looking at my title and I realized that it said announcements. Another reason why this is going to be the last stream of the year is because me and my family because I'm still living with them and I have no other prospects on living on my own yet. Me and my family are going to be moving to where we haven't finalized fully. We have some options, but we haven't fully finalized. And thus, we're working on that. So yeah, essentially until like a month or so, essentially a month or so in the next year, like early February, essentially days after my birthday, I will have to cut from my streams to pack all my shit up and then literally push it somewhere else, as Patrick would say. So yeah, last stream this year because I'm going to be downsizing my stuff to be more manageable in the new place. And then for next year, at some point, I'll have to cut from my streams again to actually take the downsized amount of items that I have and move them to a new place. And hopefully in this new place, I can get fully set up, figure stuff out and be back to streaming within like a few days. I'll have more details on when I'll be moving at a later date, obviously, when we have things fully solidified. But yeah, with that being the case, that is the end of this stream. And thus, also the end of the year for said stream. So before I head out, I do want to thank every single follower, whether they be real or not, whether they've watched a stream recently or not. Like, I'm just going to thank every single follower that I have gathered throughout my journeys of being a streamer. Will you believe me if I told you I've been streaming for almost 5 years now? Almost 6 years now, because in April 19th to be specific, that is the first time I've ever streamed, and it was on an old Asus laptop. Beautiful shit, beautiful shit. Anyways, I got 12 minutes to read all these names off before it is time for a new ad to pop up. So let's get through it. We're going to start from the very first follower, my old high school classmate, the Human Roach. No, they are not a roach, but that used to be their old moniker. Now their new moniker is Ratty Wants to Die. I'll be moving on. It's either Ratty Wants to Die, Rat King, and many other things. Okay, now I'm going to move on. We got XX Vigilant 1XX. We have Jordan Botch, which is an old middle school classmate. Cryostasis 1992. We got Spores Lurk. And then we got Valkyrion Station, an old high school classmate who goes by the name of Panda. Speaking of pandas, we got Awkward Panda 9978. iClouk, I want to say. It's spelled ICA7K. Then we got Shin Gamer 212, Manny Sketch, Bonsai Kitty, Fred Boy on Fleek, Woody 4077, my good old friend from Hitbox / Smashcast when they got merged, Snakebait. It's been a while since he streamed. Just Me a Rainbow, Duke Blue, which is not an old college classmate, but, you know, is a not recent college graduate either. They've graduated for quite some time, actually. But yeah, we're essentially old friends. CG4, Wimsley, which is a friend of Snakebait, Alex Fire 1, Break, God damn it, Tim, an awesome streamer, which if anyone ever checks in on both the recording and or this stream, Definitely check him out. An absolute gay icon. We got Irv 4. It's a hunter. Jinara. Generic Satan 777. Rapparax 1234. Hard Spore Slipped 1987. Warbury Harvey 1986. And Orvexa 1977. I know I pronounced that one wrong, so we're going to move forward. Then we got I think it's Busatu. I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong too, but it's in Japanese, so we're gonna keep going. And then of course X Princess Tsunade Senju X, which is another high school classmate of mine. Then Aruvamation, which is actually the third X I was talking about. Aruvamation is my third X of the open polyamorous relationship. Then we got Retro Night Mage, who also goes by Crown Musician, which actually used to be their old moniker. Good old Burning Kalkuna. The Skullman 789. Cashew Hunter. Not the Honeybees. Good old Kuri. Tokozuna. Punk Girl 1217. Papa Cuckoo, which is just another profile of Cutie. Then we have The Only Monk 21. Alex Rainbow Yas. And then another good friend, Tyke Greets Everyone. Then we have Coda the Fluff. Shug 29. Good old Meliodas. And then we got Ronald Peter. Maffy Maff. Shoe Horn. Tonnager. Son of a Holes, Lyrically 88, good old bestie. And then Z-Bot 132132, Gibby Girl 24, I Keldon or just Keldon. Thank you for the sub once again. And then DG Draco. And then we got Katie, but that's not the full username, but I'm very certain I would just butcher it, but I at least know that they go by Katie. The Not Alex, which is another profile of Alex. And then Lena Lee Cookie or Luna Lee Cookie, because I keep remembering the fact that I mispronounced your name the first time I saw it. Then we got Catboy which is surprising that he follows me because I used to follow, I still follow his Tumblr, and I followed him from his Tumblr to his Twitter, then from his Twitter to Twitch, and then I watched a few of his streams, and then he decided to follow me. I didn't ask for it, but he decided to follow. And then last but not least, Rubix, good old Rubix, the most recent of friends. And that is it. That is all, I think. How many followers do I have? I know it's not that many. I think it's like 62-ish, because I also lost a few followers, but I'm very certain it was because they either decided to delete their account or it was flagged as a bot after a while. Let's check how many followers. Yep, 62 followers. There we go. There she blows. There she blows. All right. Yep, that's all the followers that I have. Will I do this next year? Probably. It depends on how many followers I get. I may just find a way to automate it after a while. I'm not even gonna lie with you guys. This will probably be one of the only times, depending on how many followers I get, this may be one of the only few times where I actually read out all the followers by hand, all the new subscribers by hand, and so many more. Like that's it. That is it. That's it. But yeah, with that, I bid you all a good night. Well, I bid you all a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, because I know by this point forward, it is Christmas for many regions in the world. If not every region in the world. Nope, not yet. The West Coast still hasn't gotten their Christmas. Goody, you don't have Christmas yet by the time that this stream ends. But damn it, happy Christmas to you as well. Merry Christmas to you as well. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. I hope every single one of you have a awesome new year, okay? I hope everyone, not just myself, but I hope everyone has an awesome new year. I hope that the next year is the greatest year that we've had since literally 2012. Okay, I just hope that it is the greatest freaking year. I want it to be such a great year that we totally forget about the fact that we had the great plague of 2020, COVID-19, and had a shitty president and a slightly less shitty president. I just hope that next year is just straight up popping for everyone, okay? With that said, the stream will be ending now. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me on this journey. My ups and downs, my left and right, my forward and backwards. It has been a pleasure to have you all be patrons of my live stream. Every single one of you, even those that aren't followers, that will probably never see this. I appreciate every single one of you coming through. Because without anyone coming through, I'm very certain I probably would have quit after a while. This might have been the year I would have just quit streaming altogether. I feel like my father being lost, me losing my father in the mortal plane would have been the end of live streams for me. But nay. Because he would be highly upset. Especially since I told him that I got affiliate. That was one of the most recent happy things that he heard from me. That and the fact that I got a raise. That was it. Well, I did get a raise. But now I'm just rambling on. And I need to end the stream. Once again, everyone, thank you so much. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Happy holidays. Have an awesome new year. And I really hope to see you next time when I stream in the new year.